Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A true mountain boy. That is the headline tonight. A breathtaking ending to what rescuers feared would end in heartbreak. Here is the picture capturing the hearts of people across the nation. 22-month-old Kenneth Howard being packed out of the hills by rescuers alive. To say it is a happy ending is quite an understatement. We begin our breaking team coverage with WYMT's Justin Case live. He's near the area where they found him. Justin?
Steve, we keep hearing that word miracle thrown around a lot, and when you think about it, 3 days out in the woods in a densely wooded area, it is truly remarkable. Now, search crews are calling this a miracle, but it was this afternoon, just shortly after 2 o'clock, when search crews were up in this mountain over this shoulder. They actually heard some cries. Now, this is coming from an area close to where they were already searching. They made their way through the densely wooded area. It was up on a steep cliff about 50 feet up. Once they got there, they found Kenneth, and they found him alive. Now, the 22-month-old toddler, he was actually found less than a half mile from his home. He was then transported to an open area. There was an open field where they had to get him to so they could land the medical helicopter and actually get the medical helicopter there and transport him to a pediatric hospital. Now check out this video. This is actually shot from one of the officials out searching for Kenneth. He shot this on his cell phone. So this is moments after Kenneth was found and brought to the open area where the medical helicopter then transported him from the scene. But search crews actually searched very close to where the boy was found over the course of the several days he was missing. They're really not sure if the boy was moving around while he was missing, or maybe he was asleep while search crews searched very close to where he was. But one member of the search crew I talked with says he is close with the family, even knew Kenneth from before he went missing. He says the search for the missing 22-month-old toddler was personal for him, and he was just out here for basically all of the nearly 67 hours that Kenneth was missing.
He's tough, that little kid is, and I can't believe all the help. I don't know how we're going to thank everybody, but we've had people from everywhere. I really don't know where all they've come from, out of state and everywhere, to help us. Because their fire department, you know, we ain't got a lot of members, but when we call for help, we get it.
So, Steve, I mean, there were tons of tears shed today, but not the kind of tears you expect. Tears of joy and tears of happiness that this boy was found. It just took a real team effort to get together to find this boy. So many search crews. I mean, they estimate that there were more than 300 people out here searching over the past few days, and WYMT's Marianne Fletcher continues our team coverage.
An incredible rescue.
First thoughts of, oh, this is hard to believe.
22-month-old Kenneth Howard found safe. For all the rescuers, to call this a happy day would be an understatement.
Everybody's so happy, you know, just chills went all through your body, just excited.
The last time we talked with Tip Conley, the outlook did not look good. He feared the worst.
We're really worried about him, you know, and hope that we find him soon.
Officials found him more than 1,700 feet from his home.
You know, he spent 3 really cold nights up there. Our little kid's a tank. You know, I said he's a tank. He's tough.
Tip got the chance to tell his friend, Kenneth's dad, his beautiful blue-eyed boy is safe.
He's so happy. You know, hard to describe. He just, I mean, he was in tears, you know, with happiness.
Now, Tip says since Kenneth's disappearance, he hasn't slept much.
And now I'm not going to sleep any night because I'm going to be so revved up, you know, so happy.
But tonight, they will all sleep a little better, knowing their hard work through the hills paid off.
It's unbelievable. It's certainly a miracle.
In Magoffin and Floyd County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Steve, now just moments ago, we actually talked with Kenneth Howard's family members, and we talked to them just moments ago, so take a listen to this, and we'll continue our coverage.
Disbelief for a while until they told me it was sure him and stuff, and I seen a picture of it, and I said, that's my boy. Tickled me to death. Best thing ever happened to me in my life.
It's been difficult, but I never did give up because I had faith. I had faith, and I know that God is with us because we wouldn't have found him.
So, Steve, we asked officials what's next because you look around here, it's an empty field, but it wasn't that long ago, just a couple hours ago. There were tons of vehicles, mobile command centers, ATVs. There were horses brought out today. This field was packed. But we asked Kentucky State Police what's next, and they say the investigation continues. They still want to learn how Kenneth ended up way up in the hills, way up on a densely wooded cliff about half a mile from his house. And they say that they're not sure if Kenneth can talk or communicate. They're going to let him get treatment at this pediatric hospital, and then they're going to try to communicate with him to see how all of this happened. But we're going to continue our coverage, and we'll also have more coming up tonight at 11. Steve?
What a day. Justin, thank you. One of the many teams who joined in on the search was the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team. We're told some of their team was in the group that found Kenneth. They put this picture on Facebook this afternoon, and in the post they said, "We are so happy to report the 22-month-old child has been found and is alive. Miracles still happen. Believe it." Well, let's recap all of this for you quickly. Kenneth went missing on Sunday, so it's going on 72 hours. They found him about a third of a mile from his home. He braved steep terrain and the cold temperatures. The 22-month-old does suffer from dehydration and is obviously a little hungry. But other than that, he seems pretty healthy. Now we wanted to know how he could have possibly survived so well out there. We talked to a local pediatrician this afternoon about what he might have gone through.
Those elements, it can put the body through frostbite, actually, especially if you're in water. This is amazing. This is really good.
Connor James is in our newsroom, and Connor, you sat down and talked much more in depth about what the boy went through with that doctor. What are the key takeaways?
Steve, doctors say what took place after the child was found seems to be just standard protocol, but when you think about it, the boy could have easily fallen off a cliffside, or if he would have been cut up severely, doctors say he could have suffered a serious infection, let alone the fact that he didn't have food or water these last couple of days.
Well, you just mentioned water. Most people can't go 3 days without it. How was this boy just dehydrated?
A miracle. So in talking with Dr. O'Rourke, she says kids can actually go a little longer without water than adults can due to how their bodies save water. All in all, Steve, this is just truly a miracle.
A miracle used by many people today. Thank you very much, Connor. Well, Paige Noel joins us now, and Paige, let's talk about the weather elements over the past few days, particularly this morning. It was pretty chilly out.
Yeah, this morning was actually the coldest conditions Kenneth probably went through. Let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures. So we're about in those low to mid 40s earlier this morning, showing 45s up into Prestonsburg, Pikeville, and even into Jackson as well. But really, we can look at those temperatures actually in Paintsville. The Kentucky Mesonet actually has a site up there. So this morning, record temperature that what was recorded was 41 degrees, but Tuesday morning really wasn't much warmer. We're saying 44 degrees, and Monday was 50 degrees. So usually it's pretty chilly, even those highs getting up into the upper 50s Monday, upper 60s Wednesday, or Tuesday, and upper 60s into your Wednesday as well. So at least it got a little bit warmer, but usually those lows around this time of year are around 54 degrees. But the good news is that we weren't seeing those freezing temperatures. He didn't have to deal with frostbite, and over the last 48 hours haven't had to deal with any rain as well, and those winds overall calm. So this is a lot of just good news. The weather was not terrible over the past 3 days. We actually saw rain move in Sunday, but I think by the time he went missing, we saw most of that rain get out of here. But definitely this morning was the coolest conditions that poor little Kenneth had to deal with. But overall, it has just been a miracle here in the newsroom. Usually we don't get to report on this good of news, so it's just been a sigh of relief for everyone I know here in Eastern Kentucky and even here at WYMT.
Yeah, weather conditions certainly could have been a lot worse. Paige, thank you very much. In other news tonight, we are down to the wire with less than a week to go until Kentucky's primary election. For those running in the race for governor, there are only a few days left to sway voters. Minority Leader Rocky Atkins, Attorney General Andy Beshear, former State Auditor Adam Edelin, and Jeff Young all answered questions in the Kentucky debate this afternoon in Lexington. The four candidates talked about pensions, school safety, and paying for higher education. Garrett Weimer wraps up the debate.
A number of topics covered in the hour-long debate here. The economy, health care, but none bigger in this state right now, specifically for the next governor to face, than the issue of pensions. Rocky Adkins cited 2013 reforms as making headway on the problem.
Keep the reforms that we have in place. Any modifications or adjustments made need to be made with bipartisan support, stakeholders at the table.
Andy Beshear listed expanded gaming, medical marijuana, closing corporate tax loopholes, and stopping some tax incentives as ways to create new revenue for pensions.
A pension is a promise, and I was raised that when you make a promise, you keep that promise. And folks, I'm the only candidate in this race that will actually give you specifics.
Adam Edlin said he'll make sure the pension system is run for the benefit of those getting them.
The issue is that teachers paid their 13% every month in, and they were failed by a Frankfurt budget process that failed to do it the same.
Jeff Young called for raising taxes on the rich to fund pensions.
What we really have is a political problem. It has to be funded.
They also talked about the need to invest more money in public higher education, although there were some differences in how they plan to pay for that. On UK's campus, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Now you can watch the entire debate coming up tonight at 7 here on WYMT. Today in Harlan County, a man learned how long he will spend in prison for killing a woman. A judge sentenced George Rigney to 7 years. However, he will receive credit for time served. In 2013, he killed Jennifer Goddard. Police found her in her home. Country Music Highway 23, commonly known as CMH 23, filmed Eastern Kentucky talent today at the Forum in Hazard. Crews broke out their cameras, capturing footage of what they call rich talent found in the mountains. Their goal is to discover artists and give them a platform to share their music, much like this network reaching nearly 18 million households. Prestonsburg Mayor Les Stapleton says working with a nonprofit to bring this regional concept to life was simply a no-brainer.
We're working with TCN and trying to set up our own TV channel. Then we have a website, cmx23.com, which drives tourists to the area.
We have season 2, which we actually taped last fall, is beginning to air on the 20th. And then this will roll out probably later in the summer.
The Country Network crew will be in Eastern Kentucky until Saturday, taping in Hazard, Prestonsburg, and Paintsville. For those interested in watching at home, you can check your local cable listings. An iconic hoagie shop will be closing its doors in Cumberland. The owner of Charlotte's Hoagie Shop in Harlan County says after 26 years of business, it's time for her to slow down. The store has been a staple of the Cumberland community for years. WYMT's Connor James sits down with her and reflects on the restaurant's legacy tomorrow at 6 here on WYMT.
And that warming trend does continue over the next few days with a few rain chances mixed in there, and that it goes into your weekend. Overall, not looking terrible. We'll have that full forecast coming up for you guys in just a few short minutes.
And after the break, here how a medical clinic and school district are teaming up to make health care more available for students and teachers. By the time it is up and running, it will add 10 new jobs. It will also help improve the health and wellness of students and teachers in the Perry County school system. WYMT's Will Puckett has more on what they are calling EduHealth.
It is a collaboration between the two entities.
We have 6 nurses in 6 of the schools, and we're going to provide telehealth services to those 6 schools.
Primary care centers of Eastern Kentucky and Perry County schools are joining in a collaborative path to bring better health to students and staff across the county.
We think it will improve student and staff attendance.
Something we know is kids get sick.
Sore throats, belly aches, headaches, throwing up.
So it starts here at places like West Perry Elementary School, to right here across town at East Perry Elementary School, even to here at Perry County Central. So from all of these locations and more, it brings them here by simply being on a screen like this one and talking with a medical health professional, all to make sure that students and teachers stay healthy.
We know that there are kids that aren't able to be brought into the clinic, so we'll be able to reach more kids, hopefully have healthier children in our communities.
With the goal of keeping more kids in the classroom. In Perry County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Archer believes this will help students trust a little more and relate better to school nurses, hopefully leading to a more accurate diagnosis.
we've seen a good mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day, but mostly sun as we look over into Stonecrest, over into Prestonsburg. You're seeing we're hanging on to a few of those clouds, but overall it's been a pretty nice day. Satellite radar shows a stray shower that moved through some of the Cumberland Valley area. Really, we saw a weak disturbance move to our south, bring in a few more clouds today, but overall it hasn't been bad out there. We've seen those temperatures into the upper 60s, maybe some spots getting close to 70, but overall pretty comfortable. You'll see those mid 60s down into the Cumberland Valley. I think some of those spots may have seen a little bit more cloud cover, or maybe a rain chance or two. Like I said, it's just been spotty throughout the day. Now, as we head into those overnight hours, you'll notice those clouds at times, but temperatures into the lower 50s, so still a chilly night, but overall not too bad. You'll notice those temperatures are slowly increasing. Then as we head into your Thursday, I think most of us get into those mid to upper 70s, so warmer once again with a few of those clouds. We do remain dry as we head into your Thursday. Not thinking we do see that stray chance, but we had that stray chance though as we head into your Friday. Now, some models are bringing in a little bit more rain as we head into your Friday, really Thursday night into your Friday morning, but I still think most of us remain mostly dry, and we see the better chance for rain really as we head into your weekend. That temperature trend though over the next few days is looking pretty good. You'll notice 78 for your Thursday, and then we bring back that warm and muggy air as we head into your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But really, compared to the past couple of weekends, I don't think any of us are too mad about this weekend's forecast, usually around 74 for this time of year. So we go from a below average temperatures to above average temperatures pretty quickly. You'll notice as we look at that extended forecast, we bring back that stray chance as we head into your Friday, and that 20% for both your Saturday and for your Sunday as well. I think we could see a little bit more rain later Sunday into your Monday, but overall 20, 30%. We're not seeing a day where we are seeing a total washout. We're finally getting a nice break from the rain. So everyone's been complaining, asking me to make the forecast better. Steve, I have done it. Now we'll hang on to a few scattered rain chances there, but overall it's not looking too bad, and those temperatures looking pretty good too.
Yeah, much more like a summer-like pattern. All right, thank you very much, Paige. Coming up in sports, the post positions and morning line odds are out. Find out which horse is the favorite to win this weekend's Preakness. But first, Kentucky football lands a top transfer from Florida State. The Wildcats are familiar with. More on him next.
This is WYMT Mountain Sports, your home for the Kentucky Wildcats and local high school sports.
Former Florida State linebacker and Kentucky prospect Xavier Peters is headed to Lexington. As Peters announced his decision earlier this afternoon on Twitter, the Westchester, Ohio native was rated the number 12 overall linebacker for the 2018 class. He played in just 2 games for the Seminoles as a freshman, meaning he will still have 4 years of eligibility remaining at Kentucky after sitting out of the 2019 season. Kentucky baseball with a nice win last night in their non-conference finale. Kentucky playing Big Ten foe Michigan. Cats jumped out to an early lead, scoring in the opening inning for the 5th straight game, but it was 8 hit by pitches that helped Kentucky fuel a 7-4 victory over the Wolverines. The 8 hit by pitch tied for the second most of any team in a game this season, and we're 2 off of the UK school record. And it is Preakness week, and for the first time in 23 years, it's a week without the Triple Crown buzz. But there is still $1.5 million to run for on Saturday up in Baltimore, and 13 horses are being pointed to the race, including Bob Baffert's Improbable. Baffert has won the Preakness 7 times.
Yeah, we won't have the any of the Derby winners in there, so so we're going to be, it's still going to be an exciting race. I think people show up, it's still, to me, it's still an important race.
So here are the post positions and morning line odds that were released here in the last hour. Derby runner War of Will comes in at 4-1 odds out of post number 1. Bob Baffert's Improbable is the morning line favorite at 5-2 odds out of post 4. Then in the final 3 posts, another Twist of Fate is also another favorite coming from post 12 at 6-1 odds. And that is sports. We'll have more WYMT Mountain News right after the break.
Corbin City officials say a sand volleyball court is coming to downtown. They say several volleyball teams and clubs travel each week to play, and it is also a very popular part of Nibrock each year, which is when a temporary court is set up. The piece of property was already purchased by the city, and the court is expected to cost around $7,000.
Tying in with downtown, we've got so many people coming downtown with their local restaurants now, so we thought it'd be a good thing to do.
The volleyball court is expected to be ready by the end of June. Good weather to play a little volleyball the rest of the week.
You're going to want to get out this weekend for sure. And finally, a nice weekend to get out and enjoy it. You see those mid-80s starting to return. A little bit cooler tomorrow, upper 70s, but warmer than what we have been. Of course, we can't rule out a stray shower or two for both your Saturday and your Sunday, but it's going to be so warm and muggy outside. It's almost that summertime pattern where we're going to see those pop-up showers and storms. So they're just going to pop up, hopefully go away quickly if you do get hit by one, but still looking like a pretty great weekend.
All right. Thank you, Paige. Thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget, coming up at 7 o'clock, the Democratic gubernatorial debate that was recorded a little earlier today in Lexington. The CBS Evening News is up next. Good night, everyone.